Good day everyone. Today we will talk about some more lies being dumped on our kids in public schools. Just make sure that you watch the previous videos in this series as they follow on each other. Please subscribe, like and share these videos as much as possible. The evolutionists would have you believe that the smaller something is, the simpler it is. This is a lie. One paramecium is more complicated than the space shuttle. And you can put thousands of those into one drop of water. Smaller is not simpler. Let me show you. This is a microchip inside a paperclip, the top of the paperclip. This ant is holding a microchip in its mouth. The microchip can process every letter of the Bible 200 times per second. Let's compare the brain of the honeybee to what was once the Cray supercomputer at NASA. This super-fast computer was huge. The brain of a honeybee is tiny. The Cray computer did 6 billion calculations per second. They estimate the honeybee's brain does on average 1,000 billion calculations per second. The Cray computer uses many megawatts. The honeybee uses 10 microwatts. Extremely efficient. The Cray cost $48 million. The honeybee's brain is very cheap. You splat them on your windshield regularly. Many people scramble when the Cray breaks down. The honeybee heals itself. The Cray weighs more than a ton. The honeybee's brain does not weigh very much. The honeybee can fly 1,000,000 miles on 4.5 liters of honey. How far can your car go on 4.5 liters of fuel? So, the Cray is slow, inefficient, costs lots of money, and they must babysit the thing all the time. Yet, everyone agreed that the Cray supercomputer had to have been designed by someone. It was not a product of an explosion in an electronics factory, right? Still, they turn around and conclude that the honeybee's brain is a product of evolution, pure chance. The brain of a human is much more complex than that of a honeybee, a lot more complex. Your brain is capable of a memory capacity able to store all the information of the British Library. It has the computational speed in bits per second equivalent to the entire US telephone system. It is estimated that there are more connections in your brain than there are electrical connections in the whole world. If you believe that a human brain is just 3 pounds of chemicals that got together by chance over billions of years, how can you trust the thoughts and conclusions that you make? C.S. Lewis said the following, and I quote, "There are all sorts of different reasons for believing in God, and here I will mention only one. It is this. Supposing there was no intelligence behind the universe, no creative mind. In that case, nobody designed my brain for the purpose of thinking. It is merely that when the atoms inside my skull happen for physical reasons or chemical reasons to arrange themselves in a certain way, this gives me, as a byproduct, the sensation I call thought. But if so, how can I trust my own thinking to be true? It is like upsetting a milk jug and hoping that the way the splash arranges itself will give you a map of London. But if I cannot trust my own thinking, of course I cannot trust the arguments leading to atheism and therefore the reason to be an atheist or anything else. Unless I believe in God, I cannot believe in thought or anything else. So I can never use thought to disbelieve in God. then they want you to believe that molecular biology, aka DNA, is proof for evolution. This is another lie. The DNA is the most complex molecules in the universe. One DNA strand is about 2.1 meters long. The average human being has about 75 trillion cells in their body, each of which contains 46 DNA strands. If you take out all the DNA in your body, you'll fill it about 2 tablespoons. If you unwound it and stretch it out, just the 2 tablespoons worth of one person, it would stretch out to the moon and back 5 million times. It's got the most complicated code ever in the history of the world. If you typed out the code found in your DNA, when you're done typing, you'd have enough books to fill the Grand Canyon 78 times. For those out there who knows about programming and computer coding, take 78 Grand Canyons full of books, convert it to computer code, and then fit it into 2 tablespoons. My Heavenly Father did it. David said, "I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well." He didn't even have a microscope and he could figure it out. Did you know? From conception until birth, a fetus adds 15,000 cells per minute to its body. Each one more complex than a space shuttle. How would you like to be in charge of supplying materials for a factory that produces 15,000 space shuttles per minute? Now, there are probably some mothers who agree with me that it is hard to be that person, right? We don't have to ask why pregnant women get all sorts of weird cravings anymore, do we? The probability of one DNA molecule arranging itself by chance has been calculated to be 1 in 10 to the power of 119,000. That is a big number, especially when you consider that the entire universe is 10 to the power of 28 inches in diameter. Did you know penicillin have only 2 chromosomes? Fruit flies have 8. Let's put together some critters and see how evolution really happened. Penicillin was first and it slowly evolved into a fruit fly. Then it evolved into a tomato or a housefly. They are twins, you know. They both have 12 chromosomes. It's very hard to tell the difference between those two. Then, slowly, over millions of years, they got some more chromosomes and became a pea. Then it evolved into a bee. Here you can see the similarity. P, B, very similar. And then, very slowly, it evolved into a lettuce. And over millions of years, finally triplets were born. Did you know the possum, the redwood tree, and the kidney bean all have 22 chromosomes? The average scientist cannot tell them apart. And then slowly over some more millions of years, humans evolved with 46 chromosomes. And if we can just get 2 more, we can be a tobacco plant. When I smell the air while standing next to a smoker, I tell them, "Man, you're evolving fast. You are way ahead of me." Just a little Kent Hovind humor. And of course, dogs and chickens are twins. Everybody knows that. They both have 78 chromosomes. Very well evolved. And someday, we'll have enough chromosomes to be a carp. And if we're lucky, we might one day evolve into a fern. A very highly evolved life form with 480 chromosomes. They tell the kids to think critically. Yes, boys and girls, there are 20 kinds of amino acids. That's true. Explain how this fact supports the idea that all life shares a common ancestor. No. That fact supports the idea that all life has a common designer. If you go to the library, you'll find that all the books contain the same basic 26 letters. See, that proves they evolved from Morse code. No, that proves that it is the code with which we write English, and the 20 amino acids are the code with which you write proteins, okay? So, we will continue on this subject next time. Unfortunately, this is all we have time for today. Please like, subscribe, and share as much as possible to help my channel grow. We have a Skype Bible study session at 6 p.m. South African Standard Time every Sunday night. If you are interested to join, please pop me an email. You can find mine below in the description. Don't forget to leave a donation. Instructions on how to do so will follow. Thanks again, and God bless. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy our videos, please leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified of our next video. You can help us create better videos by leaving a donation on Patreon. The link is in the description. Thank you. We hope to see you next time.